Hi, welcome back. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sewjo, and this is my channel where I talk about all of my quilty stitchy things. Then I'm going to be sewing month 4 of the Sew and Love block of the month. Now there's two versions in this, the applique and the piece version. I'm doing the piece version. This is the applique, and this is the piece version on the back. So I'm going to be doing month 4, which is this block right here. This is the Crazy in Love block. So let me slide this over here. And I already have all my pieces cut. This is A, B, C, D, E, and F. All right, and to start off, I think I just need my C's and D's to make some half square triangles. Now, I have already drawn a diagonal line on the back right there, blue. So I just need to take it over to the sewing machine and sew a 1/4 inch away from that blue line because I'm going to do 2 half square triangles at a time. Before I take it over to the sewing machine, I am going to put a couple of pins in it just because I have to pin everything. Okay, so now I need to trim all these. I'm going to cut them apart and then trim them using the Clearly Perfect slotted trimmers. Cut them and then trim them. Shouldn't have a lot to trim, but just a little bit. And then after I trim them all, I'm going to press them all towards the pink side here. There we go. So then they'll be pressed that way. So I'm just going to continue to do all that. Okay, now I'm going to take some of these B blocks, get them all lined up there together, and then I need to cut them on the diagonal. All right, just like that. So I'm going to do that for all those B blocks, and then I'm going to take my half square triangles over here, put the half square triangle there, and then I'm going to put one of the B's there. Well, actually, I'm going to start by putting one of the B's here. I'll sew a B here, and then after that, I'll sew a B there. So I'm just going to continue to cut, pin, and then sew and press. Okay, so now I have all of these little units. I'm just going to go ahead and trim off this little piece right here. And the reason I'm going to have these little pieces is because these squares when they tell you to cut things out in an 1/8 inch measurement when you're working with triangles, I usually just go ahead and cut bigger up to the next, like a 1/4 to 1/2 inch increment, depending on what the size is. And then so I can trim down at the end. So I'm just going to cut that off. And then this piece will go right there. So I'm going to go ahead and pin and sew for all of these blocks. Okay, so I have all these units made. Now I'm going to take my E and my F squares here, and I'm going to cut them on the diagonal again, just like I did with the B's. So, diagonal cut, and then I need to do the F's, kind of get them all together. Oops, that didn't quite cut all the way through. There we go. Cut those on the diagonal. Cut these on the diagonal. All right. Now I need to take those blocks. I'm going to trim off this little edge right here because I don't need that. There we go. And then I'm going to take all the E and F blocks and put them right there. So we're basically making a 1/2 square triangle. So it will be just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw some pins in for all the E's and the F. Take it to the sewing machine, sew, and press. So I have sewn all these down, so I'm just going to cut them apart and trim them using the Clearly Perfect slotted trimmers. Now there shouldn't be a lot to trim, just a little sliver here. Just lining that middle seam up on there and trim. Then cut the dog ears off. Okay. So after I trim them all up, I will press them, and that's what the blocks are going to look like. Okay, so now I'm going to assemble these kind of like a 9 patch. So we need to take, these are my A blocks. And we're just going to put 3 of them in a diagonal. And then these are the blocks that have the E piece up here in the corner. So I need to put 1 in this corner, turn it around, and put 1 in that corner. And then I need to take these that have the F up here, kind of place them around. So that one will go there. This one will go here. And then I need to turn them around, this one around, so it goes like this and like that. So this will be the block. Now I am going to make 4 of these blocks because that's what it says this month. I need to make 4 for the quilt. So I'm going to pen, sew, press, and then once I get everything all assembled, I'll be back and show you what the final block looks like. And they're done. Those are my Crazy in Love blocks. There are 4 of them that will go into this quilt. So let me see if I can bring this over here a little bit. So that is what their block looks like. And that is what mine looks like. All right, so that is month 4. So next month, month 5, I'll be working on the Cross Your Heart blocks. Let me turn it over and I'll bring it over and show you what those are look like. So month 5, we'll be working on those. All right, till next time. Bye.